Everyone, I want to thank you so much for coming on to this side event for the high-level political forum at the United Nations. I'm Nancy Rivard, the president of Airline Ambassadors, and we have our roots in the tourism aviation industry. And I started my nonprofit to help vulnerable children in 1998. And we've accomplished amazing things. Working as a flight attendant for American Airlines, I found a way to bring ordinary people directly in touch with global world need. And so we started with flight attendants from all over the world, directly helping children. We've hand delivered over $62 million worth of aid in countries everywhere. And we're proud to be an ECOSOC NGO with the United Nations and a member of Congo. And supporting, of course, our 2030 agenda. We've created partnerships with the private sector, NGOs, UN programs. For example, we recruited flight attendants to participate in the UNICEF Change for Good program that raised $18 million for child maternal health. And we're very proud of that. And we became a leader in 2010 after we correctly identified trafficking on 4 airlines. And I recruited the support of Congressman Chris Smith to provide a venue to reach out to airlines. We actually helped change the law in the United States. Now all flight attendants have to be trained on human trafficking awareness. We're excited this coming year in October to provide training for Avianca Airlines and also a huge conference in El Salvador. And we've become a leader in aviation and tourism and resilient tourism. Before we go on, I want to introduce who will be the speakers for today for this presentation, and then you'll have Q&A at the end and much more. So first of all, I'm pleased to introduce the new chair of Airline Ambassadors. This is Ms. June Wong.
Hello.
And, June, say a few words and then I'll introduce Lee.
Hi, everyone. It is a pleasure to meet everyone over the Zoom today. And thank you. I'm going to have a small presentation later, so to introduce what we're going to do. Very nice to meet everybody. Thank you so much.
Okay, and Lee Tian is the new treasurer for Airline Ambassadors, and we're so thrilled to have him aboard. Both Lee and June were supposed to be here in El Salvador, and at the last minute, we had to do it later. So go ahead, Lee.
Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. I'm very honored to be on the board of AAI and also excited to meet you all this afternoon. I'm looking forward to share some of our thoughts and our new initiative and the partnership with AI. Thank you.
Fabulous. Okay, and Richard Jordan, who was my first mentor at the United Nations and also a member of the United Nations Executive Committee. Go ahead, Richard.
Thanks, Nancy. Good to see everyone on this Zoom call. Yes, the Global NGO Executive Committee of the Department of Public Information. We disseminate information about what everyone is doing. So I do encourage everybody to take a look at the Global NGO Executive Committee. And if you're having any projects, the UN will actually promote those in a weekly email. So good to see everyone. And please, if you want to just say your organizational affiliation and where you're calling from in the chat.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead. I want to give you a little bit of an overview. Airline Ambassadors has programs all over the world where we support the Sustainable Development Goals. For example, Goal 1, no poverty. We're providing houses and support for families we know and love in the Philippines and South Africa through the Share the Love sponsorship program. It's incredible. Zero hunger, goal 2. We provide monthly support for nutritious foods for Sierra Leone students and a preschool feeding program in Guatemala. And actually our Guatemala contact is on here now. I invited the people that were part of all of our projects to join in so they can hear about their own. Good health and well-being, goal 3. We provide monthly support and dental services to the people in vulnerable communities and of El Salvador, and also wigs for breast cancer patients. I see that Lisalat Traconis is with me now, and she's overseeing it. You can put you can put questions in the chat later.
Thank you.
Goal 6, clean water. Clean water, we've been working for the last 5 years with Leon McLaughlin and providing water filters on the Hopi and Navajo reservation where their water is tainted with arsenic. We have made a huge difference for at least 500 families, and we're continuing to do that now. Leah's holding a series of fundraisers, and we're excited to expand the entire program. We've also delivered water filters in the Gambia and Peru. Decent work and economic growth, goal 8. We have a program in Uganda to help young women grow mushrooms. And also in El Salvador to teach students culinary skills. Our work in aviation around the world relates to goal 8.7, which is immediate eradication of forced labor and human slavery. So we changed the law, as I said, in the United States on this issue, and we're continuing to work on it. Okay, also life on the land. We have a turtle conservation program, and we were able in El Salvador, and we were able to provide jobs for 600 local fishermen. We're very proud of that. Also, I finished a book about the founding of Airline Ambassadors and how it all happened, where ordinary people like flight attendants directly help children in need. It's an incredible story and very inspiring, and we encourage all of you to get it. I'll send a link in the e-update. It's only $3.99 for an ebook. Okay, Richard, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Okay, thanks, Nancy. And of course, this was only the tip of the iceberg. You know, if you go into the 2030 Agenda for Development and look at the real titles of the SDGs, the 17 SDGs are quite different. The Department of Public Information actually had hired an advertising firm to come up with those little postcards, those logos, and the slogans. So for example, No Hunger is really eliminate hunger everywhere. So it's at any time. So there's a lot to the UN that we really don't know. But I'd like now to turn it over to June, who will share her thoughts and her ideas on sustainable and resilient tourism. June, over to you.
Great. Thank you, Richard. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon again.
Okay, June.
Thank you. It is a pleasure. Seriously.
Can you guys see that?
Yes, right? Can you guys hear me and see me? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Again, it is a pleasure to meet everyone today, over the Zoom today. I'm June Huang, and I'm the Executive Director of the Windsor International Group and the Executive Director of Windsor School. Windsor School is a K-12 school based in New York. I immigrated from Taiwan 31 years ago, attended college in New York, and advanced my professional career in education with an emphasis of cross-cultural education. I'm honored to become the chair of the board of AAI and overseeing our strategy as we mobilize all possible resources to continue AAI's mission. Working alongside with Nancy and support of many other AAI contributors, long time efforts. So thank you so much, Nancy. Thank you for everybody. In this high level political reform, I would like to share a recent program that exemplify how education will bring a new model to tourism. We recently designed a U.S. Collegiate Asia Entrepreneur Tour program. The program combines learning module in business development and entrepreneurship with cultural exploitation and appreciation of impact in business development. The program mobilized resources from private sectors in U.S. and China to provide courses learning, business, visit, and cultural activities, etc. We believe sustainable tourism involves a deeper understanding of people needs. Sustainable tourism is not just about sightseeing. It is including learning, appreciation, and more critically, serve as journey that fulfill people's needs and their career development to improve their quality of life and generate connection to more resources. This broad understanding of tourism can help us to develop a new model of sustainable tourism. I am looking forward to sharing more details about our programs in the coming days. Also, I prepare a few slides I'm going to share on the screen. So Nancy, could you pull out some PPT slide? So I'm going to share a few. We have actually organized coming up the trip to 15 college students to China. So I'm going to share something. All right, Nancy, could you put it?
You have it? Reflection on global tourism?
Yes.
It's on.
It's on? I didn't see it.
No, it's on. Oh my God. Uh-oh. Ah,
It's okay. Take your time.
okay.
Okay, so that's from the first slide, okay?
Yeah, there's your, that, you saw the first slide, okay. This is the
No.
second one, okay.
Not
You
there.
see that?
Nope,
No?
nope.
Nancy, sorry, if you try at the bottom, it's supposed to say share screen. If you press that, and then it will give you an option to share the
Oh, that's right.
document with the PowerPoint.
Yeah, okay.
And that's
It
how
went
you
away,
can do
got
it.
it.
There we
you
go. There we are.
all right, there we go.
Thank you.
Nancy,
It's always the youth.
Nancy, can you go back to the first one? This is a brief of my my bio, but then I'm gonna skip this one. Second one, Nancy. So to follow up what I'm just saying, that the first one for the tourism will be reflection on the global tourism. Okay, and Nancy, let's go to next one. I'm not going to focus on too much on the presentation because our presentation will be follow up later on if anybody needs it. So the second one, the second one for sustainable tourism would be the challenge to the recovery of tourism. So the challenge will be the energy price, geopolitical, wealth disparity, and protectionism. And next one, Nancy. Okay, a new perspective for sustainable tourism, which is I just mentioned that this August we will host an inaugural trip to China following this sustainable tourism model with 15 students already accepted. This is very exciting for us, you know, because it is an inaugural trip to China and we're going to start this. So this is our itinerary, and thank you to New York Institute of Finance to be part of sponsor our AAI. And next one, Nancy, number 7, that this is our itinerary, detailed itinerary while our trip. And let's go to the next one. So to reiterate, you know, the key element of our sustainable tourism model, integrate local tourism with learning opportunities, including cultural exchange and career development through market research, company visit, and entrepreneurship courses. So this is what we are going to starting to develop our sustainable tourism program. And thank you very much. I'm going to leave it to Richard.
So you introduce Lee.
Okay. Richard's going to introduce Lee.
Richard.
Yeah, thank you, Nancy. Thank you, June. Let me give a few takeaways, perhaps, for the audience, and we'll do all questions and answers at the end of all the presentations. So, sustainable and resilient tourism now has its own day, which is February 17, and an international year in 2027. The Sustainable Development Goal target 8.9 deals with the creation of jobs and decent work, and actually is part of the 2030 agenda that mentions tourism. AI, that is artificial intelligence, can enhance the training and the capacity for entrepreneurship through education. That's one of the perhaps offshoots of the study trip that the students will make in August. What we're looking to do, and I know what June and Lee really are looking at, is to increase and augment human capital through education and entrepreneurship. Education deals with empowerment of youth. Youth will empower themselves. And what we're hoping is that this partnership between UN entities like UN Tourism, which has an online academy, and youth will enable and encourage youth to start to become entrepreneurs at a local level. So that was what I would offer as some takeaways from June's presentation. And sometime after, we don't know when, we will make the PowerPoint presentations available to everybody who has participated in this webinar. So Lee, let me now give the floor to you for your presentation on the New York Institute of Finance. Thank you.
Can I make a short introduction of Lee?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, before we hand it to Lee.
Of course.
Lee is an CEO of New York Institute of Finance. Also, he's my partner. He's also AAI's new treasurer. So he's very, very smart, outstanding guy, kind. So Lee, I'm gonna leave up to you.
You're
can't-
good, Lee.
Yeah, Lee, we can't hear you.
Thank you, June. Thank you, Richard. And thank you, Nancy. Hi, good afternoon, good evening, maybe good morning for everyone who participates in this webinar from different parts of the world. My name is Lee Tian. I'm honored to be one of the new board member of Airline Ambassador International. I'm also the CEO and the chairman of New York Institute of Finance. Today, I am very excited to share our partnership with AI and also share, based on my career, my professional experience, the importance of acquiring financial knowledge to people's personal growth, people's professional development, or even start your own business. We think financial skills, or even just financial, if we can say the financial literacy knowledge, is an enabler of sustainable development. And we want to share our thoughts regarding we want to distribute or deliver or empower people from different parts of the world with world-class financial knowledge on a global basis and with partnership, collaborative, and using modern, the current very hot topic technique, the AI. Here is a very brief of my professional experience. I grew up in mainland China and came to the States 31 years ago. And I'm also currently a board member of AI. In my pretty much my whole professional life, I worked as an investment banker in JP Morgan Chase, Bank of China International, and a European bank, ABN AMRO. My area, I focused on cross-border merger acquisition and helping company to go to IPO. Today, I'm going to share our partnership with AI, particularly in helping people from around the world that to in a more efficient with the enhancement with the help from the modern technology, even including Zoom, I would say. Even the COVID is over, but look at, I mean, today, this afternoon, we connected so many people on the screen. We share the new thoughts. So we would like to use the modern technology to share what we have on Wall Street, what we have from a financial professional perspective, the knowledge, the skills, which could be very helpful for people's professional life or people's work, even for the family life. So a very brief intro about NIFE, New York Institute of Finance, and also a description of our programs, which consist of 3 parts. One is pre-college program, the financial education for young generation. The second part called the micro certification program. It's a rapid learning program, a process for working class and for the entrepreneurs. Third is professional certificates. It's a more tailor-made for government regulators, government officials, and even finance professionals. And the third part, I'm going also to share our observation about AI, the challenges and opportunities. The last part is what I mentioned earlier, is that a global initiative. We want to provide world-class financial education by leveraging on AI. Here is a brief short history of New York Institute of Finance. This institute was established by New York Stock Exchange in 1922. Over the past 102 years, we have trained 1.3 million people around the world. And mostly, I would say, since 5 years ago, we started to provide training also for pre-college students. But most of its history, we focus on provide financial training, upskill training for professionals who already work in the Wall Street or in the financial industry in different countries. Over the 100 years, many, I would say, famous people, you see their face, like Mr. Warren Buffett, who graduated after his graduation from Columbia Business School. He attended NIFE certification course in his early stage of his career. Currently, like AI, that's how excited I join AI's board, that New York Institute of Finance, like AI does, we also provide service clients around the world. Every year, we serve clients from over 125 countries. We have clients in South America, in Africa, and we see more and more clients from Southeast Asia and Middle East. This is a very a selected partner name, logos. You can see different names in different languages, but most of our institutional clients are regulators, central bank, big financial institutions, industry associations, and even a World Bank, and also government agency like U.S. Department of the Treasury. One of the key features, because this is not a whole I would say a whole presentation about the New York Institute of Finance. But the one key feature differentiate us from many other business schools is our instructors are all professionals working in different segments of the financial industry. Most of us who specialize in certain area of the finance industry. Someone specialized in risk management. Someone is like me, specialized in merger acquisition. Someone is specialized in insurance. Someone is like specialized in asset management. So that's kind of our instructor's background. We also publish books. That's our one of our form of our delivery products. So we normally do offline in-person training, but we also have a large digital library, the digital content to train students or professionals around the world. Now, to the story that New York Institute of Finance developed 3 pillars of the programs, of these programs to help people with or without financial background. The first pillar is for pre-college students or community without a high, degree. So we provide programs course on basic economic concept, finance, help them to understand entrepreneurship, including you will see some soft skills, presentation. And also the second part is called micro certificates for rapid learning. We see many entrepreneurs are very busy, but they are not, do not equip good or enough finance knowledge. So we designed and developed very short courses in many very useful topics as a micro certificate program. The third is, like I mentioned, we also see so many government officials, so many experienced bankers, finance professionals around the world. They still want to look for knowledge, updated or innovative knowledge from Wall Street. As you all would agree that the center of the finance world is in New York, in Wall Street. There's so many innovative knowledge happen and take place every day here.
Calling for your Chris Experience.
Hi,
How are
Um,
you?
fine. I'm in the middle of a Zoom meeting. I'm not sure how to turn the audio off.
And here, this is a multi-dimensional smart learning process for pre-college. We have foundation courses called Young Finance Scholar. We also have in-depth courses in certain area we call the Young Equity Analyst and also Young Digital Economy Scholar. And we also have a part of for nonprofit program. It's a partnership program with AI, which I will elaborate in the end of my presentation. The philosophy for the program for pre-college students is like this. We provide almost 20 courses for junior students, 20 courses for senior students. So combined together formed these foundations in business, economics, and finance. Then we also provide for students who, after learning these foundation courses, they want to have a deep dive in certain area, like I mentioned, the equities, the digital economy, or sustainability, and the digital finance. So we provide deep learning one-on-one kind of format. And the third part is kind of internship, research type. We coach those students who want to really develop a certain expertise in certain area and produce a research paper. And then the last part, like I said, we tested this volunteer program, but then now we take this to the next level in partnership with AI. So what's the philosophy of this program? We want to provide a person at their pre-college stage in their school, junior school, high school, to gain foundation knowledge in economics, in finance, and gain the insight from the financial perspective to understand the world, to even understand how their parents support their family, and how their dad or mom start a company. So that's called the practical skills and knowledge. And then if they are interested, if they have found themselves as has this kind of talent, they want to develop a bit more. So we help them to develop a certain level of expertise. We also interestingly have a program called the Success Development Program to help their personal growth, emotional quotient. So our philosophy is we want to support the young people with a certain, build up their professionalism with ethics, with decency, and also contribute their knowledge from our program to be a volunteer, to contribute to those people who cannot have the opportunity to learn the holistic knowledge, just to share, just to contribute in a volunteer program. So we want them to also learn to how to impact with their knowledge, with their, equipped, understanding of the finance world. The next two slides, I just want to show selected topics in our foundation courses. For example, the finance for personal finance, the core competence for personal finance management, the concept of credit, debt, or the management of money, and what's the origin of the wealth and how to create wealth. And the second module is about the finance, economy, and capital market. Here is more, I would say, those selected topics in the more toward for the high schoolers to understand the types and the structure of companies, organizations, how to start a new business, and to understand a business by studying or reading the financial statements. And what is the IPO? What is the merger acquisition? And as you probably noticed, we also have a specific course about the ethics in business and finance. And when people, have the concept of ethics, it's generally in the, ethics in normal life, in the family life, in the human life. But we also think ethics in business, even in AI, is so critical. So we want the young generation understand the topic of ethics to help their gaining skills or using the modern technology to their future life and future career development. We have actually, from my personal experience, I originally, in my undergraduate, college life, I actually studied civil engineering, but now I am a career, banker and finance professionals. So from my personal experience, I kind of appreciate the knowledge, the gaining insight of finance is so helpful for me to advance my career and develop a business, not only support my own family, but also support many people from the clients. So we did, after I became the CEO of New York Institute of Finance, we developed those courses. We want to use leverage on the expertise from New York, from the financial world, to support, to help the young people around the world who even may not have the chance to visit USA. So in the past 5 years, we trained over 2,000 students from 16 or 17 countries, from more than 50 schools around from the different countries. And this is just selected names of those schools. And the format of the delivery of this kind of training, we do both. Most of the time we do online, digital format, live courses. We also, in every summer, starting in 2021, we do summer camp in New York. We also do summer camp in Dubai. We also do summer camp in Beirut, in partnership with a local university called Lebanese American University in Beirut. I believe this week we kick off this summer's Young Finance Scholar in-person camp in New York. And here is also some interesting feature of our program. We not only teach those courses, which I just shared the topic with you, but also we embedded the program with some competition, some teamwork project. For example, the sustainability startup idea competition is a very important project during this program. We organize students from different school and help them to form different group, and those students from different country, they probably won't see each other in the next several decades even, but they work it together on a virtual space and generate idea and work as a team to present the idea. This is what I mentioned earlier, is about a personal development program. We want people not just being professional, not just being knowledgeable, not just being expert, but also to be a decent and a person who can share and work with decency. So we also develop courses like this to focus on soft skills, presentation, communication. These are just several charts about where those school students are from. What I shared is, yes, we all know so many people from, particularly from emerging countries. They want to learn finance from New York, from Wall Street. Actually, even people in Silicon Valley, the family, in Silicon Valley, they also want to learn this kind of courses from East Coast. And many of the students who participated in our program and got our recommendation letter and have been admitted into many good schools in the last 4 years. Now, the second part is called micro certificates, like I mentioned. By looking at all those topics, you will know, yes, this appear to be more professional, more with the expertise, but we customize many of those knowledge skills condensed into 5 to 10 hours short courses, tailor-made for those working class who may be just a nurse, an engineer, a government official, but they want to learn something about the corporate finance, about the financial management, about the cash flow, about the business valuation. So this is tailor-made for those entrepreneurs who may not have the time to study the whole finance or even to participate or join a 2-year, 1.5-year degree program. Now, this part is more, I would say, systematic and more professional, which we use to support those people who already work on Wall Street, who already work in Hong Kong as a junior banker or finance professionals. And this is just several examples that we distribute our digital course on different learning platforms. Our popular course called Wealth Management, Portfolio Management, Capital Market, even like in 2019, we worked with Google, developed the machine learning, I would say the early stage of AI, the course. So we not only develop a course on our own, we also partner with other industry leaders to develop a course. Currently, we also working with the professional from Deloitte to develop a course called AI Application in Accounting. So that's what Knife does and develop content. Here, I would like to spend a few minutes in the next section to talk about our observation of AI. Now, AI, of course, very simple word, artificial intelligence, but as I would say, we are not a computer, we are not a professional in computer science, not a professional in AI space. what as a business professional or a working class or some people who may not equip with, technology, education, or experience. When we see AI, we are focused on the application of AI. So we see the challenging opportunity by observing what's the current AI application. For example, the facial recognition. When people say about the surveillance, that's a kind of the application of AI. It's a dilemma. The challenge is, yes, the governance, the privacy issues, right? But it's also, for example, when I return to US and from overseas trip, now I do not need to show my passport. It's very easy for me to go through just by recognizing my face. So it's provide convenience. However, it's also involve privacy. So how to govern this kind of technology. And then this is also a hot topic, self-driving. The EV is particularly, yes, it provides perceived more safety, reduced cost, easier parking, more free time. But then what if the EV car also, got some problem during its driving? The challenge is the morale machine, the trolley problem. So which the EV car will take from morale perspective. And you will see, so yes, my assistant put the original and the deep fake. If they do not put those words, I cannot tell who is the real one. So the misinformation and ethics issue also come as using AI technology to mimic people's face, especially for those deep fake technology. Here, this is what UN, I believe in a year earlier, or maybe last year, UN also held a conference, talk about the weaponized technology. No matter it's for using the AI technology to do both military, non-military application, it's involved humanity, it's involved peace, it's involved securities. So our thought is we do not elaborate, or I'm not the expert about explaining how to achieve AI application about coding. I'm talking about as a user. How are we going to use AI? What kind of philosophy about applying AI in our day-to-day life, in our business model, is we want to share the thought or the concept about the sustainable AI for humanity. So for how to governing, how to use AI for sustainability, or even for AI itself, the sustainability concept of AI itself, we need to think, we need to share, we need to discuss, no matter in an in-person conference or in a Zoom meeting like this today. So we think. So that's a part of our idea with New York Institute of Finance with AI. We have some idea, we have thought, but we also want to share and discuss because we want to engage partners. And then we want to advocate, we want to act. So that is about how we react. This gentleman is regarded as the founder, the godfather of AI space. He's the founder and scientific director of one of the top AI institute. He last year in a conference expressed an opinion that we need a humanity defense organization. Now, when we see this organization, and this slide I just mentioned earlier is about a UN conference. I think the main topic is about to address the potential risk no matter it's a military or non-military application of AI. But I think the topic I remember from the news report that it's talking about creating a new UN body or agency to support collective efforts to govern this AI technology, which is extraordinary. This is the chart about the history of human evolution, right? Modern human cognitive or agricultural revolution, and then scientific. And then we all know about the industrialization. And we pretty much, since I would say late 80s, since the invention of the IBM computer, and then the late 90s and early 20s, we see the explosion of the internet. We have the information revolution. Now, as human being, we are observing the intelligence revolution. This is the stage of our generation we are experiencing. Now, building AI, developing application, our philosophy, at least from our perspective, is we want to apply AI for good cause. So the next slide or next section is from the observation of what the AI application in certain sector, no matter it's a self-driving, deep faking, surveillance, and many, many other applications. There's so many capital invested in this area to develop so many applications. Yes, some is only for commercial use. Some even for, some application cause many controversial issues. But we are not managing so many industries. We are only involved management of 2 institutions, Airline Ambassador and the New York Institute of Finance. So from 2, one is a private organization with a non-profit organization. From us, we just think our resources, our philosophy, our focus on the humanity. So here is our idea. We have content. We have world-class financial knowledge. We have faculty, and we have experience in training people. We also had experience, we have experience to educating people with limited resources, underprivileged people from emerging market, how to help them to access the knowledge, the expertise in New York, from New York. So here is our initiative. We want to develop a world-class financial education by leveraging on AI in partnership with Airline Ambassador and with many other global partners, which could include NGOs, enterprise, government agencies, universities, schools. Like I introduced earlier, that we have so many absolutely top-notch courses, content, but we want to invite people from Uganda, from people from Pakistan, from China, from many different corner or countries of the world, including the local political leaders, some famous faculties from academia and famed financial experts, local business executives, or even some celebrities to participate in this program. And we can use AI with their agreement, using their face, their voice, to participate some part of our lecture, just to attract people's attention and to attract people to learn some very useful knowledge, even at the very basic, to learn how to defend themselves, their family from financial fraud, or help the financial institution to identify those money laundering, those issues. Actually, before I take this program to AI, we at the New York Institute of Finance, we already tested this initiative called Global Prosperity for All initiative, called PAI. We developed this program and we want this to be inclusive and equitable. And in the past few years, we attracted students for free from India, from China, from US, Brazil, Nigeria, Chile, so on and so forth. And we launched in 2020, and the global participation from many emerging countries, including students from developed countries as well. The topics, yes, some is from our foundation courses, some even more basic, like the protecting your personal finance, avoiding frauds, savings, income, and then a little bit advanced credit, debt, capital market, insurance, and also helping understand people, help us as people to understand being entrepreneurs, how to start a business, how to do a little bit of fundraising, and then about ethics, responsible behavior. Now, how to kind of connect the AI technology for the modules, for the coursework, for the topics we are going to deliver. I mentioned earlier that New York Institute of Finance, we normally, traditionally, with the over 100 years, we hire engaged professionals standing in the classroom, right? And then to do the in-person live session. We also record, we also do the PPT presentation, which normally we call the SCORM courses, and record a session as a digital courses. Now, we use AI. This is a kind of the early stage of the AI. We convert many of our current digital courses into this kind of format. We use, I would say, an early stage of avatar, use AI figure to talk about our knowledge, just making our content more appealing.
In no time, the parking lots of all the restaurants are overflowing with cars. People are calling to reserve tables months in advance. Wild Things Elk vendor can barely keep up with demand, and money is rolling in. Under the previous owners, Caribou King did a nice business selling bison burgers. Wild Thing hopes to give the restaurants more of a presence in the marketplace. A business that returns $10 per year on a $50 investment will likely be considered a better opportunity than a business that returns $15 per year on a $200 investment. Therefore, business managers and business owners seek to maximize profits, but seek to do so relative to the amounts invested.
I hope you can hear the voice, right?
In no time,
So that avatar is, I would say, 1.0 stage of the AI technology using to create avatar to help those content. Now I'm going to share the current advanced knowledge, advanced techniques about to generate avatar as I would say a speaker.
To create this avatar, I had to go into a studio and record my face and voice separately over a couple of hours. This AI avatar is created using large language models and diffusion models. New AI avatar Melissa, how were you created? Thanks, old AI avatar Melissa. This avatar was created using a laptop, a lapel mic, and a digital camera. A lip sync model controls my facial expressions. My hands are animated using an advanced form of looping technology called auto alignment, which understands the difference between when the avatar is talking and when it is silent, and coordinates the hand movements in a way that is more responsive to the content of the script. Would I fool you into thinking I was real?
Yeah, actually, both of them are avatar. And there's the upper one is the real, or the lower one is the avatar. Both of them are created. Here is another interesting, you can
这些
see
歌曲没进入专辑，因为想留着他们下一张专辑用。那然后下一张专辑完全不同，所以他们被抛在了后面。你总是会想起这些歌曲，你会发。
Well, this is not a Chinese course. This is about using Taylor Swift, a short video, but it's really matching her lips movement to talk about something using Chinese to appeal audience from China. So this kind of technology really help many, I would say, useful content to be more appealing to the general public. We think we can collaborate with many local political leaders, academia, professors to be our partners on the basis of participating certain part of our curricula to share their faith, their influence to appeal more people from their local community. And this is especially, I would say, helpful and important to distribute some knowledge about climate change, about the biodiversity, about water management, about sustainability. People we all know about some movie star like DiCaprio, right? And was engaged by United Nations as a climate ambassador. This is the same philosophy that why not we can partner with those celebrities, users, experts to distribute and help to people to understand the basic finance knowledge. Now, digital learning using AI is just for considering how to make it scalable, how to make it more accessible to the people from so many different parts of the world. We do not make less focus. We still want to place the importance of people getting together, be connected, because we think getting together in person, offline is still play a very important role. So we can organize a boot camp and in different cities, not necessarily in London, in city like New York. We can organize in each different country, in the capital city, major city, in each different countries. And we can also invite, organize some competition to select the winners coming to some major financial hub like Hong Kong, London, and New York as an incentive for the ordinary people or the working class people or the pre-college students to learn finance. Here, we want to seek partners. Yes, we do have lots of content. We do have lots of curriculum. We also have some basic technology. But in order to use those very polishing avatar or those modern technology, we still need to seek a technological partner to make our curricula and the content more appealing. And then we're also looking for influential people, local leaders, and we seek partnership from enterprise, NGOs, government agency to organize bootcamp and competition. And of course, university school is an integral part of this program. So that's kind of conclude my presentation and our thoughts that include our experience, our current resources, but we still have a lot of elements we need to fill in. And that is, I think, the purpose of today's meeting. Thank you. And if you have any questions, and please write in the chat box, and I'm happy to answer. If I cannot answer any specific question, I will have my assistant, myself, to follow Rachel to respond. Thank you.
Lee, I just want to thank you so much for a informative and excellent presentation. Everybody was fascinated. Richard, I would like to get your thoughts on kind of a wrap up on this.
I'm going to do that, and then hopefully someone in the audience would like to ask a question or make a comment. But Lee, that was a tour de force. In terms of human security, and I have a 44-year knowledge of the UN system, so I go way, way back. Human security has been dealt with for about more than 10 years. There was a human security working group of member states co-chaired by Ireland and Mexico, I believe. There's a Secretary General's report, 64/701, and a resolution of the General Assembly on Human Security, 66/290. UN always likes to give the document numbers. It's a very interesting thing that you mentioned about the autonomous and remotely controlled systems. There is a working group in the UN from the Global Counterterrorism, I don't want to say program, but I'm not sure exactly what, but there is, that's what you were referring to. But there are so many issues in this, it's going to take a lot of people to figure this out properly. So let me just set the stage briefly about the coming General Assembly and the High Level Week. We have the Summit for the Future. We have the Global Digital Compact. In 2025, we will have the follow-up to the Financing for Development Conference again. We will have the 30-year review of the World Summit on social development. And there are groups in the UN system, such as, that might be very interested, the UN group of experts on public administration. This really could help not only that group, but parts of the UN, such as the Economic Commissions, Economic Commission for Europe, Asia, Africa. We have many groups and parts of the UN system that are very interested in, I think, what you're proposing. While there is a tech envoy in New York, whose name is Amandeep Singh Gill, most of the programs and agencies of the UN system that are already implementing AI in terms of training, such as the International Telecommunications Union Academy, the Food and Agriculture Organization has an academy. UNITAR, the UN Institute for Training and Research. Nikhil Seth, a longtime friend of mine, going way back to the Earth Summit in Rio in '92. He is the executive director of UNITAR. My feeling is, although the tech envoy is in New York and all of the member states that are really negotiating are in New York with lots of extra input electronically, most of the follow-up is going to have to be from Geneva. And I think it would be very interesting to see how many programs and agencies of the UN system in Geneva are working on artificial intelligence in training. International Labor Organization has a training center as well. UN system staff college in Turin. Everybody's right now looking at this, but New York Institute of Finance has really put together a structured, important, in my view, contribution after the Summit for the Future. This is the future. The future is now. The idea of prosperity for all, the UN sometimes likes things like leave no one behind, but many NGOs say bring everyone forward. I think you can create prosperity for all easier and more effectively if you bring everyone forward. What you are doing is building on the structure of the results educational summits on microcredit in the 1990s, where Bella Abzug, beloved congresswoman from New York City, who was famous for her hats, Bella took on the idea of providing microcredit for 150 million of the world's poorest women, which happened. But there was no follow-up on financial skills. How, if you get microcredit, what are the skills, the financial skills that are necessary? This is where the grassroots comes in. So I think that's all I would really like to share. But my feeling is that the tech envoy is in New York, but the UN system is in Geneva. and Geneva is going to be the go-to place, I think, for AI in the future. Just my view. Thank you.
Thank you, Richard. Very, very helpful.
Any more questions? You can put them in the chat box. We also are going to send each of you the PowerPoints that were presented today and a link to the overview of the comments. I don't see any questions coming in.
I just want to share, a bit more further observation from as a person like me who work in the finance industry for many years and helping many company or even the founder of those successful company. Many startup failed, as you would know, observed, but many people achieved a huge wealth, by starting a company and carry it to a very successful stage, like what you currently observe, that like NVIDIA, right? So the wealth distribution, the wealth disparity is kind of a so focal point of the current even geopolitics or domestic politics, right? People cannot, I would say, equip with all the knowledge, all the right skills for the right industry. For example, 30 years back, even you choose your major in your college, you probably is lucky to choose something will grow quickly, fast in the past 30 years. But some major, you just based on your passion, but your job, your profession is not attracting much capital. So I would say the wealth is based on many factors, but how about connecting yourself about your learning to someone who has the luck, who has the right skills for the right industry? So the first step is to understand economics, to understand foundations of finance, at least to understand how the wealth being created, how the wealth is distributed, and also using finance as an attracting element to motivate young people to gain more education. I like what Richard mentioned, the microcredit. Even in US, as such, be perceived one of the most developed countries. Not many people graduate from high school. Even the number drop out from the high school is still significant, not mentioning the students, so many people do not finish colleges, right? Now, they are not just, feel kind of lost from this globalization, but some people also even feel lost in facing of, the high boom from Silicon Valley, right? Many people with also great degree, great study experience, but it's not in the computer science. It's in, let's say, learning piano in Juilliard, right? So to motivate young people at least to gain a decent education is one of the most important steps. I see so many politicians, so many NGOs, so many forces want to motivate people, but education is, also depends on a family, a culture, tradition. So that's why we think use this kind of very interesting financial topics by partnering with some celebrities, some influencers, some like Leonardo DiCaprio can work with the United Nations to talk about the climate change. Why not we can ask for some people like him to talk about financial fraud? We see all the news about so many retired people was being the target for the fraud and lost their life saving. That's not just being unethical. This is evil, I would say. But how to fight these kind of evil things? We need to equip ourselves. But the people are human beings. Sometimes we are lazy. Sometimes we are not so motivated. So we want to use the modern technology. We want to use the legacy of institute like Wharton School, like New York Institute of Finance, right? And partner with organization like Ambassador International, which has already established themselves as an organization to support so many people around the world. That's about the partnership between NGO and the private sector. And I probably forgot to mention the program I just introduced. We intentionally and we want to make it a very, very low cost or even for free, but we seek sponsorship. From us, we started from us. We just recently, last week, we announced a sponsorship for AI by making a donation to AI to set up this program. And we also want to reach out to many other countries because, I'm very sure this is also part of my passion at my career stage that we want, to share what we see, the very excellent quality resources. We are relatively, I would say, privileged. Okay, we gain our education, our professional experience in a relatively professional, environment. But we want to share. But we cannot. I only have 24 hours. People, the airline cost is high now. Travel is expensive. Then we're not using technology. So again, I'm not the AI technician. Okay. I'm the user of AI. I'm the thinker about using AI for our business, not only for profit business as well as for non-profit business. So maybe people online, we are relatively still strange to each other, but this is a great opportunity. I want to thank Nancy to start AI decades ago. And I thank people like Richard, who has a long-term contributor to this phenomenal organization. I'm deeply honored to be on the board and a part of the team. And I also hope the people online now and also became friends of AI and a partner for us. And again, my philosophy is we using new thing, new technology for good cause. Thank you.
This is Martha, and I just like to applaud you so much because I'm almost brought to tears. I mean, looks like it could really be the bridge for economic equality. And economic equality, as you know, is kind of the root of all dysfunction, poverty. I mean, you name it. And it is really just so inspiring to hear in a tangible way how that can start happening. I mean, this really could be a very doable thing. I mean, to kind of create this bridge, which is available for anyone to cross, which is the first step in economic equality. And I just wanted to applaud and thank you.
Thank you.
And
Martha.
also Zoe Morrow raised her hand. Go ahead, Zoe. Take off your mute.
Yeah, I did. Hi, Nancy. Actually, my coworker Sandra is going to talk. She speaks Spanish, so I will be translating for her. Have you probably seen me? I've been talking a lot. I've actually been translating the whole presentation for her and for Freddie Vasquez. So, Sandra.
Mucho gusto a todos. Buenas tardes. Gracias por la invitación a esta reunión.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for the invitation to this meeting.
Un tema muy importante a nivel mundial. Lo hemos vivido aquí nosotros en Guatemala.
Here, this is a very important theme. It is something that we're seeing worldwide and here in Guatemala.
Y en realidad necesitamos mucho más aprendizaje para poder avanzar. La educación en Guatemala ha tenido muchos problemas. Y ahora con la inteligencia artificial, pues peor.
Here in Guatemala, unfortunately, the education is not such a high quality, but now due to the pandemic and everything that's happened, it's very important for everybody to start getting a better education, but also to learn even more. And now with AI that it is started here, it's even harder for a lot of the Guatemalan.
Nosotros hemos vivido una situación muy difícil porque las escuelas en las áreas urbanas de Guatemala han tenido una mejor educación en cuanto a la educación, a la inteligencia artificial, pero las escuelas de las áreas rurales han tenido que afrontar muchos obstáculos, muchos retos para poder continuar estudiando. Claro, es el ejemplo que decía Zoe durante la pandemia. Fue un problema muy, muy fuerte para todos ellos porque muchos no podían ni utilizar un teléfono.
For the urban schools that are in Guatemala or the city schools, obviously a lot of the students were able to adapt with the AI, and it was very easy for them to be able to adapt to it. Unfortunately, in the rural areas where we live and where we work, it has been something that has been very, very hard to even start using and adapting to. Also, unfortunately, when the pandemic hit, there was a lot of students here who didn't even know how to use a phone.
I just want to make a point. We only have till 4:15 and it's just at this time now. So we're going to send out everyone so you can ask more questions. We'll send out their emails as well, okay? Thank everybody so much for joining us. It's an amazing presentation. Thank you, June. Thank you, Lee. I'm so happy you're part of our team.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nancy.
Okay.
Fabulous side event, fabulous.
Thank you. Thank you very
Stay in
much.
touch. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you very much.